The wrong number. A misdialed phone call sparks an unlikely 20-year friendship. The insistent ringing of the telephone sliced through Amelia's Sunday afternoon reverie. A book lay open on her lap, its pages filled with the sun-drenched landscapes of Tuscany. But her mind was elsewhere. She was mentally preparing for another week at the law firm, another round of corporate battles and endless paperwork. Irritated, she picked up the receiver. "Hello?" she said, her voice a little sharper than she intended. "Hi, is David there?" a tentative voice asked on the other end. It was a young man, his voice tinged with an accent Amelia couldn't quite place. "I'm sorry, you have the wrong number," Amelia replied, already reaching to hang up. "There's no David here." "Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you," the young man said quickly. "I must have misdialed. Apologies." "No problem," Amelia said, and hung up. She glanced back at her book, but the spell was broken. The brief interruption had stirred something within her, a faint echo of connection in the otherwise quiet solitude of her life. She lived alone in a small apartment overlooking Central Park, her days filled with the demands of her career, her nights with the comforting routine of books and quiet dinners. The phone rang again a few minutes later. Amelia frowned. Surely it couldn't be the same person. "Hello?" "Oh, hello, it's me again," the young man said, his voice filled with embarrassment. "I am so sorry. I seem to be having trouble with this new phone. Is David there?" Amelia sighed. "No, you have the wrong number again. I'm Amelia, Amelia, and there is no David here. Perhaps you should check the number before you dial." "I am so sorry, Amelia," the young man said. "My name is Samir, Samir. It's just, David is a very important person, and I need to speak with him." Amelia softened a little. "Well, I'm sorry, Samir, but you have the wrong number. I hope you find David." "Thank you, Amelia," Samir said. "I hope you have a good day." This time Amelia didn't go back to her book. She found herself thinking about Samir, about his accent, and his desperate need to find David. She wondered who David was, and why it was so important for Samir to reach him. The phone rang again that evening, just as Amelia was finishing her dinner. She hesitated before answering it. "Hello? Amelia? It's Samir. I am so sorry. I know I have called you too many times, but I have tried every number I can think of, and I still cannot reach David. I don't know what to do." Amelia could hear the desperation in his voice. Against her better judgment, she found herself saying, "Where are you calling from, Samir?" "I am calling from, well, I am in London," he said. "I just arrived today. I am here for university." "London?" Amelia exclaimed. "That's quite a distance to be calling the wrong number." I know. I am so sorry," Samir said again. Amelia sighed. "Look, Samir, I can tell you're really upset. Tell you what, why don't you tell me about David? Maybe I can help you figure out the right number." And so over the next hour, Amelia listened as Samir told her about David, his childhood friend from Mumbai, who was supposed to meet him at the airport in London. David was going to help him get settled into his new life, show him around the city, and introduce him to other students. But David wasn't there, and Samir had no way to reach him. Amelia, who had always been a practical, no-nonsense kind of person, found herself strangely moved by Samir's story. She spent the next few hours helping him brainstorm possible phone numbers, searching online directories, and even calling the university to see if they had any contact information for David. Finally, late in the evening, they found a possible lead. A student named David Sharma was listed in the university directory with a phone number. Samir called the number, his voice trembling with hope. A few minutes later, he was back on the line with Amelia, his voice filled with relief. "I found him. It was him. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you so much. You are an angel. I'm just glad you found your friend, Samir," Amelia said, feeling a warmth spread through her that she hadn't felt in a long time. "I will never forget your kindness, Amelia," Samir said. Can I Can I call you again sometime? Just to say hello? Amelia hesitated. She was a private person, not used to making friends, especially with young men she had met by accident. But there was something about Samir's genuine gratitude that touched her. "Okay, Samir," she said. "You can call me again sometime." And so began an unlikely friendship. Over the next few months, Samir would call Amelia every few weeks, just to chat. He told her about his classes, his new friends, and his adventures in London. Amelia, in turn, told him about her work, her books, and her quiet life in New York. They talked about everything and nothing. They debated politics and religion, shared their dreams and fears, and laughed at each other's jokes. Amelia found herself looking forward to Samir's calls, and she realized that he had brought a spark of joy and connection into her life that she had indeed realized was missing. Years passed. Samir graduated from university, got a job, and eventually married a lovely woman named Aisha. Amelia continued her career, achieving success and recognition in her field. But despite the distance and the differences in their lives, they remained friends. They spoke on the phone regularly, and occasionally, Samir would visit New York with Aisha, and they would all have dinner together. One day, Amelia received a letter from Samir. He and Aisha were expecting their first child, a daughter, and they wanted to name her Amelia, after the woman who had helped them find each other. Amelia was deeply touched. She had never married or had children of her own, but she felt a sense of connection to this young family, a sense of belonging that she had never experienced before. 20 years after that first wrong number, Amelia flew to London to meet her namesake. As she held the baby Amelia in her arms, she thought about the strange and wonderful way that life can bring people together. And she realized that sometimes the wrong number can lead to the right connection.